Hello and welcome back to HT Racing to some more multiplayer fun, because in this week's rotating Spec series everyone gets to drive this BMW M3 from 1991. And with being a little bit of an older car, it's not very fast, it's not very powerful, it's not even very grippy. Being on sport tires, as you can see, it basically sits at the bottom of B class in terms of PI pretty much. But these things are fun to drive, especially with everyone getting to drive the same car and not being able to tune it basically at all. Really fun. I'm going to show you two races today. The first one here starting at Laguna Seca short variant. And yeah, starting a little bit farther to the back this time on P20. Was a little bit late on joining the lobby and only got an unclean lap in for qualifying. So starting at the back and already some carnage in front. Guy in front of me doing the right thing and braking, and I did see that too late, or did react too late, but well, luckily nothing major happened and I managed to get by. But you can see more carnage in front. Starting from the back sometimes can be really fun, and especially I found in these cars, because there is just so much carnage going on with the cars not being very fast, and if someone messes up a little bit, well, that's gonna mean that other people are gonna catch up. And yeah, you're gonna see, I think, a lot of funny moments in this race, and especially more towards the end there is some weird bug or something going on. It was really weird. I'm gonna show you. I think it's at the start of the last lap or something like that, as I managed to do something really stupid here, go into the corkscrew and ram it in the back of the black M3 in front of me, spin him around, or at least help spin him around with the help of another guy, and then just basically get karma and get spun around as well. I would say pretty much deserved. Wasn't very great driving of me from the start of the corkscrew for sure. But yeah, what can you do back at P18? But I was like, oh well, I think I have a little bit better pace than some people that are more towards the back and midfield. So let's just see what we can do here and how far we can push this. So yeah. Was a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, it happens. And as I said, I think a little bit deserved on my part, because I wasn't driving very clean into the corkscrew there. Yeah, the short variant of Laguna Seca, actually really interesting. It's kind of difficult to get used to. I mean, from here on out it's all the same, but the corner that's basically turn 1 for this variant is kind of hard to judge how much you need to brake for that if you haven't driven the track a lot. So yeah, still something I need to get used to, I think. And you can see one guy overtaking me, so I'm back in P19, and the guy in front of me is the one that did just overtake me and is now overtaking more people. I think he also had an incident. He definitely seemed quite fast. We were basically on the same pace for most of the race and also had some nice fighting going on. And for now we are trying to carve through the field here with people going off track and, well, ramming into each other, you can see here. But yeah, definitely interesting to start from the back in these things. As I said, not very fast and powerful. It's a lot about momentum, and yeah, that's basically how you can gain places here. Just have better exits out of corners, preserve more speed, and, well, at least try to, as sometimes there isn't enough space. Like in this situation, I wasn't really able to, well, find any room to get by this guy, but now I just dive on the inside and, yeah, leave him behind. And I think Fred in front, the guy that overtook me, he is also still going, and I'm just trying to keep up with him. And yeah, as I said, I'm gonna have a little bit of a fight through the field here in the beginning. But yeah, the M3, as I said, not very fast or powerful, and the grip is okay, but not great. You definitely go sideways every once in a while. If you just carry a little bit too much speed, you can see that from the cars in front of me quite often, I think. But it's fun. If you manage to control it, really fun to drive, I have to say. What's a little bit interesting as well is, as I said in the beginning, everyone is driving the same car. That's true for every Spec series with just one car in it, which is basically all the rotating events apart from the ones which are focusing on a class. But for the M3, it is in a PI class and with like upgrades applied that don't allow you to do much tuning at all. I think the only thing that you can adjust is tire pressures. And that makes the playing field even more even, if that's even a word. So many evens in a sentence. That really is interesting, because normally tuning plays a big role, as Fred in front of me goes a little bit too fast into that left-hander and goes onto the dirt. But I think he's still gonna be behind me for quite some time. We did jump ahead here for like 1 or 2 laps. I'm not quite sure, the second to last one now, because nothing much interesting was going on there. But I really want you to pay attention now to now coming out of the second to last corner. As we're heading into the last corner, something really weird is gonna happen. And I was like, what is going on? Take a look here. I'm going into the corner and then trying to accelerate out. And at some point, did you see that? And here again, it felt like the car went into slow motion or something. And that was really weird when that happened, and it was really hard to keep control of the car. As you could see, I went into the wall a little bit, and it seems like that wasn't only on me. You can see a lot of people in front being very slow, struggling. I think there was some kind of like server issues or something that caused this, I would call it rubber banding, or just it was basically just a slow motion effect for some reason. Really, really weird. Never had that before. Let me know in the comments if you've seen something like that before, and do you maybe know what this is? But that definitely threw a lot of people off, and heading into the last lap, that meant that some people, well, didn't manage to keep the place that they fought so hard for. And I'm all over the back of this guy in front of me because of what just happened, I think, at least mainly. And managing now to go on his outside and try to give him enough space here. I think I squeeze him a little and we collide, but not quite sure. If you don't have a proper radar, it's always hard to tell what exactly was going on here. And also no mirrors visible and stuff like that. It's a little bit annoying from time to time, but really weird what happened there at the start of the last lap. I don't know what that was, but interesting nonetheless. And as I said, really fun to drive. You can see here, gained 13 places from starting in P20 actually, or was it P19? From what it says on the screen here, I gained 13 places to P6, so probably started at P19. But anyway, we're gonna head into the second race, and here I actually managed to get enough time in for qualifying, and qualified in P5, and we're gonna see how well we do if we don't start from the back of the grid. If we could do P6 in the first race, well, let's see if we can maybe get to a podium or something like that. We are at Mugello, as you can already tell. And as I said, these kind of tight and tracks with not a lot of long straights are actually what is really fun for these cars. Just the tight, more handling focused tracks, because you can really throw this car around. And we're gonna have some good racing here at Mugello as well. The guy in front of me, Jono Ghost, gonna call him Jono for now. I will have a lot of fighting with him during this whole race. It's a 7-lap race here, and well, I managed to overtake him for now, but he is still on my tail, and we are gonna have a lot of back and forth. And well, here at Mugello, this corner is probably one of the most crucial ones here, heading onto the main straight. You need to take enough speed, so preserve momentum to actually get kind of a good start onto the straight, but also need to make sure to not go too sideways, because that will kill your acceleration and then you won't have any speed on the straight. So very important corner here. This time managing to do it kind of okay and catching up to the guys in front, and I think there's gonna be some stuff happening there as well. I'm not quite sure if in this or in the next lap. But also Jono has caught up again with me and is basically side by side. I take a look and just backing out of this one. I saw him, well, basically accelerating out, and I was like, I don't want to get pushed off track here. Didn't know if I could trust him at this point, so I was being a little bit careful and just rather conceded the place than being off track. So finding myself back in P5. This corner, by the way, also quite tricky. I mean, you can take it quite well, but you can see if you head off track a little bit, you'll get a off track violation, and quite a big one for the little time that you maybe gain from that. 0.8 was kind of, I feel, a little bit much. As we are jumping ahead again a little bit, now into lap number 4. Jono in front decides to dive on the guy in P2 and, well, goes a little bit fast in, I think, and that opens the door for me, and I happily take that and try to move over to, because Jono wasn't as fast going out of that corner, but I think I bumped into the guy behind me a little bit, who is definitely also still on my tail. But then, I don't know, I think he hit the gravel a little bit and seemed to have spun out. So for now we have some clean air behind us at least, and well, are in P3 for now. At this point I'm just trying to keep up with Jono in front and, well, try to maybe overtake him. The guy in P1 definitely at least a very good driver or very experienced with this sort of car. He was definitely pulling away quite a lot, and there wasn't any chance for us to catch up. But the fight for P2 was definitely on at this point. At this point, trying to go around the outside for turn 1, pretty difficult, I have to say, and I think I also go a little wide here, so no chance really. The inside line on this turn is also quite good, I think, so definitely not much chance there for me to overtake. These right and left turns here are actually also a little bit tricky in terms of trying to, well, get to keep or preserve enough momentum to, basically not lose much time here. And you can very easily go sideways in this car. And, well, I think Jono and I are struggling a little bit here, also going almost a little wide again here. And I said, this last corner can be very tricky. If you take a look at my acceleration, like sometimes it's just that the car is too sideways and doesn't want to go forward. Also, I think traction control is interfering a little bit. Maybe I should have turned that off for this car. But yeah, at least managed to get a decent exit, and this time able to go for the inside for turn 1. But I think I overshoot this a little bit. I should have gone a little tighter. I parked it on the apex. I left enough space for Jono to come in there, and, well, he basically manages to still go around the outside for the next turn, has the inside for the following. And yeah, at this point I wasn't able to, well, do anything here, but very nice and clean fighting with him. It was a lot of fun, I have to say. And well, that's all gonna change, well, at least a little bit, with some more fighting coming from behind, as I get another off-track violation, at least only 0.1 this time. The guy behind definitely is fast, but he is bumping, and sometimes a little much, and yeah, bumps me in a way where I, well, lose proper traction for the braking zone, and then again also here in front of me kind of weaving around. That's always something that you don't want to see. If you're on a straight, just pick a line, either go defensive for the inside for the next turn or just pick the normal racing line. I really don't like all this swerving around that some people do, and yeah, well, at least managing to keep him behind for now, but he is gonna get a better exit out of the last turn, and well, I give him the space. I don't want to do the same thing and just try to force him off, and well, he just pushes his way through. So maybe I should have been a little bit more aggressive in defending there, but it's always a tough decision. Like, do you join them and just be a little bit dirty and defend very aggressively, maybe too aggressively sometimes, or well, do you open the door like I did and then lose the position? Well, as I said, sometimes really hard to decide in the moment, as I almost go off track once again. That corner really tricky, and also not managing to get a very good exit out of the last corner here, so I am falling a little bit behind in this last lap, and sadly not managing to get close enough for the penalties to do any deciding in the outcome of this race. So sadly no podium this time, but at least a P4, so that's okay. And as I said, was a fun race, a lot of cool fighting going on, and that's what these cars can do. And I've noticed this both in Forza and in other racing games. The slower the cars, and you know, basically the similar, or yeah, if you have very similar cars, or basically just all of the same car, then the fighting can be very, very good, and it leads a lot of the time to very fun races. And this was what happened here. And yeah, I just wanted to show you what can happen in these M3 races. If you haven't yet, definitely take a look in multiplayer. It's still ongoing if you're watching this video when it comes out. So definitely take a look. These cars are a lot of fun to drive, and they're not very expensive. You don't have to do any tuning, so it's a win-win if you like a little bit of a slower experience in your online races as well from time to time. But yeah, with that, I really want to thank you a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I've been HT Racing. See you in the next one.